Welcome to jessupLEAD. My name is John Gallegos, and I want to talk to you today about self-care and how important it is for you and I to be effective leaders. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you turned your phone off? Oftentimes when our phones, I know with me, it's not working right, it's not functioning properly, so I just simply turn it off for a few seconds, wait, maybe a minute or two, then turn it back on. And most of the time, it's working right again. I want to posit to you that metaphor of turning off is actually a good way of thinking about self-care. We need times where we turn off during our days, re-energize, recharge, so that we could be the most effective leaders that we can be. In July of 2020, I woke up in the middle of the night. I had a very scary incident. I was having a panic attack, an anxiety attack. I had never had one before. And afterwards, I did some kind of self-evaluation, and I realized that I had stopped exercising. I had stopped turning off during the day. And after a few months, I came to the point to where my body told me, you need to turn off. Think about this. If you and I want to be the most effective leaders, we want to produce positive change in people and build lives, we need to be healthy emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. How do we do that? We take times during our day where we turn off, recharge, and re-energize. Anne Lamott has this great quote where she says, almost everything will work again if you turn it off for a few minutes and then turn it back on. That means, that even includes, she said, you and I. Turning off as leaders is very biblical. If you'll remember, there was a day in the life of Jesus. We find it in Mark chapter 6 where he is fed the 5,000. He healed people, and it's at the end of the day, and he realized that he needed to turn off. In fact, Mark 6:46 says that after leaving them, meaning the crowds and the disciples, he went up on a mountainside to pray. Listen, you and I are called to be the best version of ourselves so that we can be the best leaders wherever we're leading. The only way that we're going to do that is if we're at the top of our game. And how do we get to the top of our game? We're taking time to turn off, re-energize, and recharge. There's two common misconceptions to self-care. Oftentimes we think, well, it's a sign of weakness. As leaders, we need to be out leading the charge, and I cannot show that I actually need times of rest. Another misconception is we often think I don't have time. How many of us, how often have we said, I simply don't have time to take care of myself? Well, let me remind you, if we don't take care of ourselves, our bodies will make us take care of ourselves. They'll shut down on their own. So I want to encourage you, Peniel Neal has a few suggestions about turning off. And number one, simply, we need to make time in our schedule. We need to make times during our day where we are taking 5, 10-minute increments where we are getting out of what we're doing and simply turning off, recharging, and re-energizing. Make it your own. Do it in a way that fits you. You might like to read books, or maybe like to get a massage, or maybe you like to draw or do something. Take time out of your day to power off. And finally, we need to make ourselves accountable to others. As leaders, we often try to do things on our own, and if we want to be effective in self-care, we need to make others aware that we're doing it so they can make us accountable. Do you and I want to be the best version of ourselves in leadership? Of course we do. Let's make sure that we turn ourselves off consistently and intentionally so that we can be the leaders we all aspire to be. Thank you and have a great day.